Hi guys, I hope you're all doing fabulously well in these navigating shifts that we're all going through. I was once again been asked to do a bit of a download from the Council of Eight, and but first of all, I just wanted to check in and see how you all are. If you could all just give me a thumbs up at some stage, and not me, but yourselves, and just let me know how you're all doing, checking in. I know that with the earthquake in Turkey, um, Auckland has been affected by the cyclone Gabrielle, and we here on the South Island, I believe there's sort of a tail end of it that's coming in the next day or two. So water's cleansing. And yesterday I had the most beautiful, beautiful time to come together with an amazing amount of people across the world. And what I'd done was I'd signed up for a masterclass with the most incredible people. Vida Austin, if you don't know of her and her work, she works with the consciousness of water. Phenomenal, phenomenal woman who I have the privilege of knowing. She's on the North Island in New Zealand, and just a beautiful, beautiful hearted person. And it was just incredible. She brought a whole bunch of us together in this masterclass. There were some amazing speakers that we were going to listen to, and she was a little bit perplexed yesterday, rightly so, because her internet was down and she managed to get to a friend's house. And let me tell you guys, it was phenomenal. Just this, I don't know what it was, 5 or 10 minute coming together. We ended up deciding not to have the masterclass because of obvious reasons of the internet coming and going. But what a beautiful woman, let me share with you, because her biggest concern was that she had committed to everybody through an email the night before saying, we're going to go ahead. And then she said she was just worried about letting us all down. And I was in tears, and I think there were probably others on the call. I think there were 120 of us, 124 of us on the call, on the Zoom call. And I most certainly, when she was trying to navigate, I just said to the group, and I just put myself out there, and my heart was pounding, and I was like, to the one guy who's a speaker, I said, do you mind if we all just come together and put our hands on our hearts and just share some love to New Zealand, and ask the cyclone to shift? And it was phenomenal how we were going to be taught more about the consciousness of water. And here's this cyclone that's coming towards the North Island. It's fabulous. The times are fabulous. So I could feel my heart beating, because I was like, shit, here's a group of people that I don't even know. And is it possible? Could we just, come together and just speak to the cyclone? That's energy, that's intention. And I don't even know where we're at with regards to that, but I could literally feel my heart in my throat going guduf, 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 guduf. And I was like, what am I doing? How come I'm pushing, like, I'm unmuted and I'm muted? And I was like, rather mute. Anyway, it was all wonderful, because she came back onto the group when she had got into somebody else's computer. And Vida, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but you are an amazing, incredible hearted, beautiful human being. And we had one elder that came together, and he shared, what water was about, and it shifted my perception as well, in the sense of, instead of pushing it away, it's about the excitement. She also said it was about the excitement, and water's actually all about the change, the change that it brings. And last year in September, where I live in Nelson, New Zealand, we had floods. Our house was fine, but it was incredible to see the coming together of human beings who didn't care about anything else. Didn't care about COVID, didn't care about if you were vaccinated, not vaccinated. We just didn't care. And I saw this. I saw this last year. And I used to say to my husband and friends who perhaps were in a space of fear, none of that's going to matter. None of it matters when there's trauma, when there's tragedy, when there's community. In the floods, we went and helped people shovel the mud, and I went to a woman's house, and she just wanted to save her beautiful photos that she'd had in her albums, her precious children, her precious memories. That's what mattered in those moments. So it's phenomenal when we stand back and we choose to look at life in a different way. So this elder had said, because Vida was asking all of us, should we postpone? And this elder just brought it all together. There's in the tribes, there's one person who just collectively brings things together. And for me, that was this man. I was like, oh my God, I feel so honored, because I was the human that my heart was beating and going, okay, let's just talk to and clearly there was fear for me. There was fear of how many people are going to lose their homes. And so to hear even the contradiction, but the timeline of the shifting of me being that, hearing my heart, feeling my heartbeat, guys, and there was just quiet. I mean, everybody was muted, but it was just like, can we just bring people together? How can we speak to the cyclone? So there was that. Vida came back on, and then this elder went, and he spoke in the most beautiful, his language. I'm assuming he was from Hawaii, but I'm not 100% sure. And he spoke the way I would interpret Maori people to speak, and it was just calming. And it was just incredible to see the energy just shift and how the group just came together and just brought this. And we all just saying, Vida, love. What a beautiful, beautiful human being, because she was clearly in a space of wanting to connect, and she had the most amazing speakers, and it all just happened when we're in a tribe, and the tribe only in that moment wanted to show up in love. How incredible. There's that statement, how does it get better than that? In that moment, how did it get any better than that? We were completely all present. This gentleman brought us all into our space of knowing, and it was, oh my gosh, it was just incredible. I don't have any other words to say, but phenomenal. And that's where we rise above, and my description of what I'm even sharing, I don't even know if anybody can relate to this. I don't know if anybody watches what I share. Maybe some people were on that group session, and it was just, it wasn't even tangible, I think is what I'm trying to say. It was incredible. So, Vida said she's going to park it and we're going to come back next week. And obviously some people can make it, some people can't make it. I can't make it to the live gathering, and that's okay. That's all okay. Her safety was the most important, to hold space for people and to show up. She showed up in a way that was so heart-based, and I just honored her in that. And guys, when we come together in these moments, just as, I've watched a few clips on YouTube of how the children are being found, that beautiful baby that was attached to its mother's umbilical cord. What a miracle. A cat that was found in Turkey. What a miracle. That's the coming together. That's the pureness of empowerment, of love, of unconditional love that we're all still learning. I'm still learning how to love unconditionally. That's the moment that the soul has made that choice of, we are here in the now. I've been having a few discussions with friends over the last few weeks about how we can be connected to our spiritual team, our galactic energy. And I don't know, I've perhaps said this before and I'm going to say it again. We can be as connected as we want. But as a human being, I don't want to be an arsehole anymore, because I know a few arseholes out there in the humans that they are. And I'm sorry. And if you guys don't like that, then, unsubscribe. But I see it. I've seen it before, time and time again, where humans who are doing a great work out there, and then there's humans that are doing amazing work in my world and great work, yet they choose not to work with human beings who are going through struggles, or no, 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 we can't work with you because our team said we can't work with you. And I'm like, no, you're being an arsehole. Like, how do you know that that person right now in that moment? Because if our higher selves are calling us to work with individuals, that is perhaps a belief on my part. But if somebody's reaching out to me and saying, hey, Michelle, I noticed you on a podcast or whatever, and could you please come together and, well, could I book a session with you? Sometimes it might align, sometimes it might not align, but who am I to say, I felt into your energy, and you've got energies or carrying entities, and no, you're not going to work for me right now. That makes me inhumane, I believe, in my opinion. And I've had things like that with clients where it is challenging to, I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to think back, guys. I'm trying to think back if I've even done that to clients, and I'd be mortified if I've said, I can't work with you right now. But I hope to goodness not. That's why I'm just taking 2 seconds, almost poking myself in my Catch a wake up, Michelle. What are you seeing? What are you not seeing? Think before you speak. But sometimes I think that it's just okay to ramble as I am, and just putting it out there to just say, that's the human that I am. Because again, I love being connected. I love channeling. And sometimes I can be an arsehole. I can be an arsehole to my husband. I can be an arsehole to my children. I can be arsehole to people who are being cruel to dogs, or being cruel to children. I can most certainly, I go into launch mode, and I'm like, and I did this 2 weeks ago, where this guy had this beautiful dog sitting in a little sporty Mercedes Benz, and it was so freaking hot, and there was no windows open for the dog, and my son was uncomfortable in the car park. So this is, yes, me being an arsehole, but at the same time protecting and wanting to be a voice for that dog. Because I thought, when I climbed into my car, I was like, whew, couldn't wait to open the windows. And even if that guy had gone into the car and the dog looked quite calm, let me share that with you. But I wrote the guy a note and said, hey, guy, I don't know about you, but your dog doesn't have a voice, and he looks like he's really cared and looked after. My son was like, Mom, let's not wait at the car. And I said to him, Katie, that dog doesn't have a voice. And even if somebody's run in for 2 minutes, that's 2 minutes of that dog sitting in a sweltering car. If I'm in a shop for 5 minutes and I'm climbing in, and I repeat, there were no windows open. So I wrote this guy a message. And in that moment, I tried to come from a really compassionate place. And yes, I launch into protection. I launch into, like, what the hell are you thinking, dude? Leaving this dog in the car. Like, if I left you in a car with no windows down, what are you thinking? People don't think at times, clearly. Okay, so I left him a note just saying, your dog looks like it's really well taken care of. It's a beautiful animal, but please, in future, would you mind leaving some windows open? So my hope is that next time, and obviously I'm probably not going to see that dog again, but things like that really trigger me. They really do, and that's part of me being human. So to go back to what I was saying, yes, as much as we are connected, we are star seeds, we are light walkers, we are light workers. As much as I am connected to the beautiful Council of Eight, I'm laughing because they're talking to me right now, and we're having a little chuckle to each other. So the connection is there, okay? Yet at the same time, I'm working on me being a human. I'm working on me walking my talk clearly. I'm working on me not poking myself in my eye in my display of there, got to get this out, okay? Because I too contradict myself. There's no doubt. Yesterday in my family, we were sitting having dinner together, and my daughter had we were talking about the woke human beings and how precious they are. And this is me, yes, once again, being open and sharing my thoughts. It's just my thoughts, guys, and my opinions and my perceptions. Okay, so take what resonates, and what doesn't resonate, park it, and what triggers you, work with that. Because there's a trigger, I know me too. If there's a trigger, again, I say, when it comes to animals and little kids, whew, I can get triggered. Yet at the same time, it's my trigger, and I've got to work through that. Okay, so especially when it comes to little kids, I always go, how did I feel if I see another human being, a parent, shouting at a child in public? I know that that's my trigger. I know that there's an old feeling that's coming up. So to go back to my conversation with my kids last night, we were talking about different perceptions. And my daughter, in her infinite wisdom, could see that my husband was getting triggered and I was getting triggered. And she was like, I'm just going to park this conversation right now because I'm not changing my perception. And I thought, in one way, I thought, good for her. But obviously, we all wanted to be right in our perceptions. I said to her, okay, can I ask you a question? I hear you, but I want to ask you a question because I want to understand. I seek to understand your perception. Again, not all the time, because in a heated moment, I want to be right, my husband wants to be right, my son wants to be right, and my daughter's like, well, I'm just going to park this because she can see she's irked us. Well, we're irked. Okay, she didn't irk us, but she's got us to like be a little bit like, Now, bless her cotton socks. My daughter is a Sagittarius, and she lives with 3 Cancerians. Poor child. Don't know what she chose in this lifetime. So we are all truly Cancerian, in the words of the astrologers out there. We have our pinchers on. We're incredibly protective of our family, of our home, and we're sensitive, okay? And I joke with friends about being a crab because like my pinchers would be out there and I'd be like da, 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 and I'd have one eye, but I'd still be like, listen, this is my family, Mama Bear's out, here's the other pincher, this pincher's gone, but I'd be sidestepping, okay? And if any of you know how the crabs are and how we are as Cancerians, we're sensitive and we love and we are kind and compassionate, and but we're on. And we're very passionate, most of us. But we can be very self-righteous too. Okay, so anyway, where was I going with that story? So I asked her, seeking to understand, share with me your perception on this story. Anyway, we managed to diffuse everything, and it worked out to be quite calm, and we all sort of went our merry ways in our home. Yet again, to go back to, excuse me, got to get that out my body. See, I can't even talk straight. But to go back to where I was talking and sharing my opinion on life, and those of us that are connected, and those of us that do deep work, and those of us that are out there and receive these wonderful messages, okay, and give guidance. I don't want to be an arsehole. Do you? That's part of the work. That's part of working through and trudging through our humanness. You know, we all come from a space of, at times, feeling lost. You know, I know so many of us want to connect to our star systems, but there's a flip that's happening. There's so much change that's happening. The earthquakes, the cyclones, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the volcanoes that are erupting and going to erupt. It's massive. We are shifting timelines here. We are shifting so much. So stay in your faith. The connection to our star systems and our lineages help us, I believe. Yet at the same time, how can we show up for each other in the collective? Okay, sometimes we show up in the community of how can we help? What can we do differently? Okay, Sometimes for me, that might mean having one massive big day with clients, but then somebody reaches out and says, Michelle, I'm really needing somebody to talk to, okay? And it could be a friend. And I say, okay, let me, give this person 5 minutes of my time or 10 minutes of my time. It could be a friend, it could be a family member. And guys, please, I am not by any means freaking perfect. If any of you look at me and go, oh my God, Michelle, I'm like, I am human. Okay, I'm here to have a human experience. Please, 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 never put me on a pedestal. Ever. Never put anybody, for that matter of fact, on a pedestal. None of us are better than anybody else. I'm here to do and be of service and do my work that I do. And I continuously deep dive into myself and continuously deep dive into my lineages and my father's stuff and my mother's stuff and my grandmother's stuff and my grandfather's stuff and my sibling stuff. And when I'm being triggered and my buttons are pushed, I know that I've got to deep dive again. And some old stuff came up last week again. A friend did Reiki on me and I was triggered and I thought, the Reiki's working. So please never put anybody on a pedestal. We are all showing up. Even those of you who are watching me and who see my stuff that I put out there, my wackiness and my weirdness and what I share and my contradictedness, okay? You guys are part of the team. You guys are watching, and that's the energy that's coming together. It's like I might be displaying and sharing my channelings out there and putting or having beautiful people on my podcast on Keeping It Real. Yet you guys collectively are the energy that are here to share in the energy that I'm sharing. Do you see? So nobody is bigger than anybody else. I have a statement and a saying, embrace yourself, for those of you who, who don't like, who would say scones instead of scones, okay? We all go to the bathroom in the morning, guys. Some people might be constipated, but we all go for a poo, right? So that's part of us being human. And I'm not saying that if I was to meet one of the princes tomorrow that I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I don't know what I'd say. Probably something ridiculous would come out of my mouth. The filter would not work at all because it happens often. But I remind myself that in that moment, we all go to the bathroom. We all here to be human, and our souls have chosen the experiences that they have. Okay? So there's my rambling. Okay? Please know that as we all shine our lights in a beautiful, remarkable way, as you are all sharing your comments and as you are all here connecting with me and letting me connect with you, I am incredibly, incredibly, incredibly gracious and graceful. And I appreciate the gifts and abilities that I have very, very much so. And I never take them for granted, ever. So if any of you are feeling whatever the feelings are that you're feeling at the moment, please go back to feeling and looking at what you can be grateful for. Warm water. These beautiful roses that my husband put on my desk today. I want to just show you. And never, ever, ever think that people do not change. My husband is the one person, I've been with him for 15 years. We have very rarely celebrated Valentine's Day because it was just something that he was conditioned with, and he says he doesn't like it. And this was an absolute surprise to me this morning. So I didn't give up. I just went, okay, respect his wishes, respect where he's at. And yep, it's money that's unnecessarily spent, but it brings joy to others in a similar way. And this morning I walked into my office and these beautiful flowers were in a message. And people do change. When I change, my energy shifts. Remember, energy in, energy out. When I let go, others let go. But I don't make it, I don't project and go, well, I wish others would change. I continuously shift in me. I continuously change who I am for the better, for the good. My triggers aren't as intense as what they used to be. I get it. I work through it. I breathe it. If it's anger, I breathe it out. And then I'm able to have more of an adult conversation, as opposed to coming from that wounded little girl or that wounded teenager or the wounded young lady of not getting my words out. So life happens for us, guys. Life is shifting and changing all the time for the good, for the great of who we are. So I'm going to close my eyes and open my eyes and see what the Council of Eight have to say. And I just see that, just waiting. So we'll see you on the other side. We welcome you to these navigating times of what is showing up for all of you as an individual, for all of you as a collective. And please notice how we said that, all of you. When we talk about all of you, we are talking about the oneness, the connection of all that is. We are not sharing information that is what we would say or term new. We are sharing to many of you on one platform at one time. Many of you are listening, many of you are hearing, many of you are choosing different outcomes. And for this, we say thank you. Many of you are deciding what is your next adventure. And adventure is all about. When one is all about, one is out and about, are they not? We feel that it is incredibly important to share with all of you that it is now more than ever time to find the space to be on the ground, barefooted. For those of you who perhaps are in water or in drenched or entrenched, we know that this may be challenging for you to do. Yet where you can, and if you can, and how you can, and when you can, take your shoes off like little children. Little children love to run around barefoot, do they not? So what we say to you is, find time to play in the puddles where there's puddles. Be barefoot, connect into the electromagnetic field of the connection to Gaia. She is very well aware of the shifting. She is very well aware of what is. This has been the changes that have been many connections out there in the field, yet in Mother Earth. So again, find time to rub your hands together. And as you are finding time within these spaces, within these moments, within these tragedies, find time to place your hands. Bring the breath in. And as you are bringing the breath in, find time to notice the soothing of the brain and the stem behind the brain. Many of you are connecting. And notice how we use Michelle's hands. We are throwing the energy out there. And as you are connecting and connecting, you are disconnecting from yourself. You are throwing yourself out of alignment. Many of you are angry, what we are noticing. In the anger of what is uprising, this does not serve you no longer. You are angry as to what is happening within the earth, within the different countries. Please notice that the vibration of Turkey is, and Syria is here, and here, Ukraine. Where did all that energy have to go to? It is compression, is there not? And in the compression of the devastation of the earthly human beings that have all passed over, something had to give. Do you see how energy is always moving? Yes, we know there is devastation in Turkey, yet collectively humans are coming together. And this will be the changes. This is where humanity will reach out for one another. The shifts of the timelines are changing quicker than we can click Michelle's finger or fingers. So what we say to you is, where are you putting your focus? Where are you putting your attention? Where are you putting your focus? Where are you putting your attention? Where are you putting your focus? Where are you putting your attention? Your hearts are not saying to you right now, beat, 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 beat. Your hearts are beating in harmony with the rest of your body. So what we say to you, shift the timelines with your thoughts. Thoughts are powerful in the power of how you show up for yourselves. What we say to you is becoming more aware of your thoughts, and within the vibration, as the neck, the stem is connected of your spine, it is connected to the brain stem, is it not? Yet if there was no connection, if this part of your body was taken out, there would be no connection. There would be no functioning with the rest of your body. So we share these simple moments in time. We come through directly through Michelle, so that in the space of harmony, of being, of noticing, we do not recreate a circle or a spiral. We create within that creation of the circle, of the spiral. The circle is never ending. When one goes around and 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 around, one can make many, many circles within the one circle. Energy is never ending. Please know this. Energy is always connecting. Energy is always tuning in. Please notice what you are saying to one another. Notice what you are saying to one another. Notice how you are communicating to not only yourself, but to many others. As Michelle shares her daily spaces of her existence as a human being, this is her truth. This is her honoring of not only a mother, yet a wife, and not only where she is within what you humans term her business self. She is expressing her innermost understandings of how she functions as a human being. And we laugh with her. We laugh with you all. As laughter, we have said this many times, is key. Find the moments to find the laughter within. Even though there is deep frustrations as we are saying this right now, many of you would be questioning, how do you find the laughter in these devastating times? Know that it is as simple as the blink of an eye. It is as simple as the butterfly fluttering its wings. We take time to pause. When humans pause, there is silence, there is change. We ask you all collectively to please close your eyes and connect into your human hearts. And as you connect into your human hearts, we will send tones of awakening. We will send tones of harmonizing. We will send tones of beating, like a conductor working with an orchestra. And as we send these tones, we ask you all collectively to keep your breath simple. Keep your breath flowing. And one more, please. Your vibration within you is shifting on a cellular, DNA, bone density awakening. Many of you will feel the difference within yourself and your cells. We thank you, we honor you, we send you many blessings. This is the Council of Eight. 8 angelic beings of light. Namaste. Alrighty guys, I hope that you are all Buzzing. Yep, I'm back. God. I cannot believe that I even put this out there. Anyway, it's what I've been shown to do. So, man alive, party for one in the house, eh? Pretty cool when you just talk to yourself and, oh man, I love you guys, each and every one of you. And thank you to those of you who are buying my merchandise. I'm so honored when I see these moments happen and I'm like, oh my God, somebody's purchased. And it's all about love is why we are here. Love is why we are here. So for those of you who are not too sure that I have a shop on my website, it's www.michellecarpenter.co.nz, and please go and have a look. There's aprons, bags, journals. They're very simple, and I don't wear my merch all the time. I've been told I should. I've got to order some more myself. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for all the support, all the love. Please comment. Again, I will get back to you. And I hope in some small way, you know that from my heart to all of you, that I do take the time to read the comments. And I might not reply and respond to all of you, but I'm so grateful for the gaining of momentum and the traction that we are all creating. Again, we're all in this together, okay? Love you guys. Bye.